Okay, hello, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. So, before I get into what will you choose on my topic, I'm going to invite you to check out the link in the comments below to my book called You Are Made to Heal Spiritually, Emotionally, Mentally, and Physically. And it just shares my journey of being stuck for 30 plus years. And I was just doing the same things over and over, expecting different results, and stuck in a lot of negative emotions, not knowing how to move forward. And so it just shares my journey of what I've done after I hit rock bottom in the fall of 2015. So check that out. And when I wrote this book, I had all teens and adults in mind. And I think there's just something for everyone in there. So check that out. So what is it will you choose? And you're like, well, I don't know. I don't know what my options are. So we either get to choose our will or God's will. So what are you going to choose? I'm just telling you right now, I've done things on my own for a long time. And there's times where I still slip in that trap, right? Like today, I want to share an example. I've been kind of on the negative thinking side. I've just been really frustrated with my house not being in order how I want it. And there's rooms that are just, when you walk into a room and it just creates chaos within. And I'm like, this has been a problem for a long time. I'm going to finally do something about it. And so I did, but it's just like, okay, now I can, start to relax or whatever. Your environment is important. It's important what our environment is around us. And sometimes we don't have complete control over that, but we can make little steps, just one little thing daily. And I'm going to be honest, my dresser in my room happens to be like the dumping grounds. Like if nobody knows where to put it or they get the mail, it's like, okay, go put it on mom's dresser or whatever. My hutch, it's this long dresser and it gets, it's just where everything gets put. And I'm like, I can't. I want to go to my room and have a place of serenity. I want to have a place where I'm like, okay, I can relax and be at ease and do what I want and be able to mentally, if I want to meditate or relax, I can do that because I'm not looking around and seeing chaos. And so that's very important. But I wanted to read what I wrote in my book about this. It's will of God or your will. Which would you choose? The easy thing to do is what you want to do, right? The natural man in us. But God has great things in store for us when we're just doing what He's wanting us to do, when we're doing His will. And His will is following His Son, Jesus Christ. He set the prime example for us to all follow. And God's will takes a lot of concentrated work up front, but following His will save us from extended heartache in the future, right? His will helps, our will is swallowed up in His will. I mean, even when we're in our most painful moments, our sorrow, when we just turn it over to Him and we just say, okay, what is it you want me to do with this? You find God's will for you in the scriptures through prayer, through meditation, and through service, whether you are serving somebody else or somebody else is serving you. And doing God's will requires you to let go of the negativity, doubt, control over others, and so on. When you choose God's will, you invite peace in your life. So yeah, if you're feeling like you're complaining a lot or having some negativity, like I did, I was feeling some negative emotions come up, like chaos, and I'm not liking things. So negative comes up for everybody, negativity in some form or fashion. And it's like, okay, what are we going to do about this negativity? Are we going to stay in here in that negative state of mind and then just make it miserable for everybody else that's around us, whether we're at work, whether we're at home? And so it's important to take those negative emotions and be like, okay, I'm going to address this and I don't have to stay here. I have that choice. We all have this choice. And honestly, God's will is complete opposite of all negative emotions, right? God wants us to feel of His love. God wants us to feel of His forgiveness. And God wants us to exercise forgiving ourselves, forgiving other people around us. God's will is for us to just love ourselves and others around us with the pure love of Christ. God's will is that we are happy. He wants us to be joyful. He wants us to have like life and vitality in us, and He wants us to be excited to show up for each day. He doesn't want us mopey. He doesn't want us complaining. He doesn't want us sick. He doesn't, he doesn't want us to suffer, right? That's not God's plan. God's plan for us is not for us to suffer. He wants us to move forward. His joys, I'm sure, comes from seeing us happy. And so it's important to just remind yourself when negative feelings creep up, because they will and they do. So just forgive yourself for feeling those emotions and getting back on track. Okay, we're not going to be 100% perfect at things. It's just the way it is. We are on our healing journey, and it's just important to just see where we're at and be completely aware. So that's another thing that I want to talk about. Like, when we are in our negative emotions, serving other people is so great. It helps us to forget about what we've got going on and our stresses and worries. And also, a lot of us have a hard time letting other people serve us. It's important to allow others to touch your life, and it makes a huge difference. It helps for just more unity, and it helps for you to swallow your pride when you ask for help. And today I'm kind of guilty of it. I was trying to put a battery in my watch, and I'm like, gonna do it on my own, right? And I'm not gonna ask my husband to help me. He's over there relaxing, and it's not gonna happen when I want it done in the time I want it, because sometimes I get impatient. And so I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna just fix it. And then he comes into the room, several minutes later. Oh, what you doing? I'm trying to change out the battery of my watch, and getting a little frustrated. And he's like, here, let me help. And I'm like, if I would have just swallowed my pride from the get-go, looking at the situation going, I really don't know what I'm doing. And I don't know what to use, the proper tools. I mean, even though I searched it, I'm like, I don't know where to find all this and how to do it. And he just had it fixed within like 10-15 minutes. He struggled a little bit, and he's like, oh, what would help me is like a magnifying glass. And I'm like, oh, yep, I can do that. I go get a magnifying glass. And he was able to figure it out, and he did it. And I was just like, if I would have just swallowed my pride and just allowed myself to be served and say, you know what, hon, this is what I want done, then it would have saved me from getting frustrated and ornery in the first place, or negative, just, impatient, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes I have those moods. And so just allow yourself to feel, but allow yourself to recognize when you're off. Our emotions let us know when we are on track or off track. And I was off track today. I let the adversary get to me, and I recognized it, and I'm like, nope, that's not what I want. I want to have peace. I want to have, things move smoothly. And honestly, I know when I change my mindset, that cleaning and organizing rooms is a lot easier to do. So much easier and quicker than when I'm not in a great mood. So I've done it several times. I've put it to the test. As soon as we have that switch of the mindset, it truly helps. So God bless you in your healing journey, and others. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Also, feel free to comment anytime of something that you would like me to talk about, a topic, maybe something that you struggle with, or any advice on being in your negative emotions. If you have questions, I don't have all the answers, and I'm not a therapist. I am not a counselor. All I know is I don't suffer from what I had for 30 plus years, for the going on the last 10 years. And it's been a complete change in my life. And so I'm just here to help. It is my mission and my purpose to help others in their healing journey, because back in the day, I didn't think healing was possible. I just thought that was the luck of the draw and this is just my situation and whatever. And I just wasn't very hopeful. Today, I'm full of hope. I look forward to each new day's experiences and I'm grateful. I wake up with gratitude. I wake up with, um, you know, just a, a an excitement to live and to share, but at the same time I am making my mistakes right and left too. And so it's just really cool to have the tools to keep you on track when you get off track, because we get off track at different times of the day, right? And over different things, and life happens to us, but knowing how to handle those situations really make a difference. Did you hear that loud pop? That was my water bottle. Sorry, it kind of scared me. But please, again, like and subscribe to my channel and share it with others. And until next time, bye.